Happy Mother's Day. Rob and I know that you haven't been here for quite some time, and we wanted to give you another look at our house and our yard because that's what we spend a lot of our free time on, and we thought you would enjoy having a look at it. In front of us are the evil dogs, also known as Tig and Dink. Oh, and they're acting like good dogs. Don't know why. They probably think this is a zapper for their shock collars. Nonetheless, we'll enjoy their being good dogs for the moment. So Rob and I have been working on the front yard. You probably don't recall, but it used to be the entire accent area of the house was just this kind of river rock type look. We've been working and have redesigned it and made it kind of look a little bit more contrast, and so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, this is a new kind of entry area that we've created where we planted 3 shrubs that should grow up to be about 3 feet wide and 4 feet high, which will cover the base of the porch, and a couple of other little sunflowers. And in honor of being Eastern deep in our hearts and souls, we planted this little red bud, which will be just gorgeous in the spring before anything else has gotten started. So as soon as Dink and Tig are done sniffing that stuff, we'll get going and look at the back of the yard. Come on, guys, let's go. Okay. So I will take this as slowly as possible to try to not make you throw up like you're on a roller coaster, but just look away if it's making you dizzy. Come on, Tig. For your special enjoyment, here's a close-up of the fence. Okay. Well, welcome to our backyard. Let's go, guys. Okay. There are a couple things that weren't here before, when you were here before. We've got this flagstone sidewalk and a very large shed. The flagstone sidewalk I had installed for Rob's 50th birthday last year, and the shed, we'll say, was the kicker of his birthday present. So that's the shed that's all prepared for when I start menopause, that Rob has another little safe room to go to. When that happens, he'll probably put the padlock on the inside of the shed instead of on the outside. But he's prepared. Okay. So off to the left are 2 vegetable garden beds. Rob designed and built those, and I just tripped. I hope you enjoyed that as well. Along the fence here, we have honeysuckle espalier. We just planted it last year, and so this is the first year that the espaliering can really start to be noticeable. So I'm pretty excited about that. I enjoy my little puzzles, and that's kind of a non-stop project for me. Okay. This is an overall view of the backyard and of Tig. Hello, Tig. Tig says hello. She may not seem like it, but she really does. Over here is our tomato bed. Okay, so let's walk over to the patio. Oh, my goodness, what is this? This is our very tiny dry creek. This is also Tig's play area where she hunts for lizards. That is an awful lot of rocks, and I'm very pleased to say that we did not install those. Rob and I did everything that you see back here up on the upper terrace. We also did the flagstone patio together. And in the interest of staying together, and in the interest of our aging backs, we hired someone to do that dry wash. And we are very pleased with that, and most especially pleased by the fact that our backs are still intact. So hopefully you can tell how large the flagstones are on this patio. That was an awful lot of effort, and Rob did an incredibly beautiful job in designing it and installing it. To our left here are our herb beds. Right now we've got chives, oregano, tarragon, sage, and I believe that's lemon verbena down at the end. The other herbs need to be planted. We'll also put some lettuce in this area. That's Rob's turtle. It's as close as he's going to get to a turtle as a pet. Okay. So over here to our right is our seating area, where we have a little fireplace that if we ever stay up late enough, we could have a fire, but we tend not to do that. Here's our dining area, and you'll see a structure there that is a pergola that Rob designed and built. Also incredibly beautiful, but all the work he does is. We have honeysuckle on the bottom of the pergola that we're going to train to kind of cover up, and it'll allow it to be a shade area for us in the hot summer. Over here will be our potato patch, a work in progress. Hey Tiggy. Tig says hello. Hello. Okay. Let's take a stroll through the garden. Oh, and there's Dink. Dinky, say hello. Okay, he doesn't have anything to say. Let's move on. So, see here, there's a little bridge that goes over the dry creek and into what I call the dog's play area, which is that grassy area. We just had it resodded this spring, and it doesn't look like it took, so I think that's going to be a do-over. Throughout the dry creek, there are various perennials planted, and in a few years, it should look pretty, it'll soften up the rockiness of it, and it won't look just like a big stone area. But it is spring, so very few things are up right now. We're here adjacent to the house. We've planted a desert willow that's starting to take off. This plant here will provide us with some diffuse shade for the bedroom during the summer. And during the winter, it won't have any leaves, and you can see how spindly it is, so we'll still get a lot of sun during the winter and get that warmth. And all these things on the ground here are ground covers that will give us a little winter interest. Most of them are evergreen in nature. So for your reference, that little spindly tree there should grow up to look like that big, elegant tree in the corner there. It's a beautiful tree that during the summer has a deep magenta flower, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It draws in hummingbirds. Okay, so let's head up into the upper deck of the garden. So everything you see here was put into place by Rob and I. It's been a major activity. Mostly it's been enjoyable. Gets a little tiring here and there, but enjoyable. One of our favorite things is up on the uppermost terrace. Rob designed and built this swing. And surprisingly enough, we use it a lot. Days that I'm home, I have a sit on it, a swing on it once a day. And Rob and I usually will come over here like at the end of the day and have a swing for a little bit before we head in for dinner. We've got a beautiful lilac that's blooming there. So during the summer, it should give us a little bit of shade on that swing. And crawling up on the swing, we've got a wisteria that will eventually be covering the top of the swing, and she'll look pretty with the flowers hanging down. Throughout the garden, everything that's planted here are perennials. The largish green mounds you see are lavender, and on the ground, the main ground cover is thyme. We had a tough winter, so it's a little slow coming back this year, but it should come back. And then we just have other, what I consider to be pretty items throughout the garden. The main thing about our garden is that most of the things have a smell, so that you can come up and you can touch them, and you will have a really nice, it just smells good, makes you feel good. So, well, that's really bringing us to a close. But I thought that you might enjoy seeing what's going on in our yard, since that's where we spend a lot of our time. And we know how hard it is to get here, but we wanted to share it with you. So, well, Tig's on patrol, and Dink's prancing along. I believe they're coming over. Try not to move too fast. Coming over to say Happy Mother's Day, and we wish we were there, and we love you, and Happy Mother's Day.